this poopsie journey. I have a website called TonyBomboni.com. Maybe it should have been poopsies.com. Oh well. But TonyBomboni.com is where you can book your own services from me. If you have a question for me, maybe you're wondering about your love life, your financial life, whatever may be occurring, let me help you through it. You can book things like tarot reading from me or any other of my services, okay? I have so much on there that I provide. And my website is updated every week or two with new ASMR albums, so check that as well. Alright guys, so the topic of this video, I wasn't going to talk about it, but now I'm addressing it. And, when I was just writing my video ideas down in my journal, I thought this would have been a good idea at the time. Looking back, I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this video because it's like no point, but then it made sense in my head at the time, so I'm like, let me do it anyway. And it's still an idea, and I need ideas. But it's mostly a sit-down ramble about life and just, what plans I may or may not have, because I really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, not to mention the next hour, not to mention the next week or month or year. So in today's day and age, I think planning ahead like that is foolish. You can have dreams and goals, but I would feel like a fool to say like, oh, that's for sure going to happen by December 31st. Like, no, wrong. So I like to just let life flow nowadays, because I was once there on my journey and I'm like, this isn't working for me anymore. It's no longer sustainable. So I need to let things flow more naturally, still having some sense of control over my life, of course, and discipline, structure, and order, but not letting it get so far carried away, far-fetched, that I ruin myself trying to accomplish something that will never probably happen. So the same principle applies in love and relationships. They're unpredictable. You are literally meeting another version of you, okay? So that can be unpredictable, especially if you are unpredictable. So that's what I've experienced, and since this was my first actual legit in-person relationship, it kind of came as a shock when I had to end things, but I knew I had to, and I knew I needed to be single again. I knew I needed to be alone, left alone, and to figure out the course of my life, because if you keep doing something that contributes to your pain, not to your peace, maybe I'm doing it the wrong way, right? Why should I get back into situations that only cause harm? So again, I'm only speaking of my truth. Maybe you can get something out of this video. Alright? I want to help you, so here's my point. What am I going to do now that I'm single? The answer, I don't know. There's your magical answer. I'll discuss why I say what I say, but I really don't know. There is no fixed, proper, set solution to your happiness, right? So you have to realize that you are just unraveling your life as you go. It's unpredictable, it's unknown. Some people may have a general idea of where it's going, but still can't see the bigger picture. And I think that's most everyone right now, with the unpredictability / uncertainty of every day-to-day life. Since the end of 2019, okay? I think we can all resonate with that frequency, but we don't have to fear it, right? A lot of energies want us to fear the change, to fear the unknown, but we can flow with it, right? We can let it go and flow rather than was so afraid of it. I was so afraid of committing. I was so afraid of staying with someone that couldn't hurt me. And, you know, obviously I was proven right, but I realized that, you know, there is probably someone out there for me, and if so, cool, but that's not for me right now, right? I would probably reject them anyway, because that's not where my headspace, that's not where my goal is anymore. So, it's not that I'm saying I wouldn't be open to the idea of it in the future, but for the time being, I think pain has taught me that it's not worth it, because clearly there is something that is cycling back to the pain, always back to the pain. And until that resolution is resolved, this will continue happening as it always has been. And why bother feeding that pain, right? Why bother giving energy to something that gives you pain? So I had to let go of this dream. I've accomplished my goal. I got into a relationship. Months later, I realized it's not for me. And I just was unhappy as time went by. More and more. And more frustrated as well at myself, because I was putting myself through my pain, my own struggle. So, you know, again, I'm a firm believer that you cause the things in your life. No one causes you harm but you, yourself. And that's for most things. Again, most things. Don't take it too literally, please. I've put myself in this scenario, alright? And I have to take full accountability and responsibility. Yes, people have done me wrong and very, very nasty and dirty as well. They have to take accountability for that as well. But my point is that I'm all I have, so I have to move on with something. You know, I have to remind myself of something to move on, right? I have to encourage myself in some way, right? Otherwise it's not gonna work, you know? So, you have to give yourself that boost, that morale, that cheer that can motivate you to keep going, and not to think like, oh, everyone's like this, or you're gonna only get this situation out of people. So the biggest part of me now being single is doing that, is figuring out how I can view the world, how I perceive the world views me, because, yeah, sometimes there's a belief that, you know, I'm not really loved, I'm not really liked all along, you know, people hate me, you know, and that's just because that's sometimes how I feel about certain people as well. And, you know, there's a lot to work through, there's a lot to realize, especially the hypersensitivity, you know, when someone criticizes you. So that can contribute to the internal battle, the internal hatred, I guess. You know, until you love completely, it kind of works backwards, you know, in a way. It's like, yeah, you have to completely be in love with yourself, but also, like, you have to learn to love people, right? Like, because you can get to a point where you love yourself too much, and then it's like, well, you don't love anyone then. And that's that energy that is a bit selfish. So, you know, I'm somewhere in between right now, but yeah, for the time being, I am staying away for my own peace, sanity, so I don't influence someone in a negative way and hurt them. And, you know, I think people are quick to jump into relationships when they themselves are not ready. Some people, I mean, and it's like, well, you know, you need that time alone, because you could risk causing pain in some way, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever, to your partner, because you're not at your best self. And, you know, we're not perfect, and there are partners that can help each other grow and evolve and learn, and that's beautiful, but that's quite rare as well. So be blessed, be thankful, count your blessings every day if you have someone that can hear you out, support you, communicate openly with you, which is a huge struggle. And yeah, right now I need to communicate with me, and that's so important. And why I choose to remain single for now, and what I'm going to be doing while I'm single. Am I gonna go back on like a dating app or something? No. The answer is no. I jokingly said to myself, like, if SHDF happens very soon, I will only go on there to like form a community, like, hey, who has these tools, who has this certain type of fruit, or, you know, that's the only reason I would go back. But I would be feeding into my problem, my behavior. There's a piece of fuzzy on the lens. So again, maybe you have something resonant. It's like I was so addicted to the idea of that I couldn't just be at peace. Because thinking back this morning, I had the greatest opportunities to make it possibly work with some people, and I just like rejected them. And gosh, like it took me months to even find someone, because I kept like rejecting, not like literally telling them no, but you know, like as they say, leaving them on red. Like, or just not interested, you know, like that's kind of how it is on any dating site. Like you get left in red, whatever. Don't take it personally. It's just that person's not really interested in what you have to offer at the time. And there's many other fish out there, right? But I'm not fishing right now. I'm looking to fish in my deep inner emotions. And yeah, it's taking a while, you know, it takes a few months to really, once you peel back something, there's more to peel back, especially when you meet someone new, and it's like, oh, you're uncovering new parts of yourself, and it's just too much. I got so tired of it that I couldn't take it anymore. And clearly it was me not in the right place and not ready, and I'm glad it ended the way it ended, because I literally like would have caused so much pain by just being in a marriage or continuing things that I wasn't happy with, you know. And I wanted this alleged person to be happy with whoever they chose to, you know, be with, and to do their own thing. So yeah, I'm a big cheerleader for, you know, letting people do their thing to be happy. I don't want to hold anyone back. I don't want to feel like I'm a burden to anyone. I don't want to feel that way. And again, that's my belief. Again, it's like sometimes I just feel like I'm not welcome, and I feel like I'm unloved, and yeah, I already said that. So there's a lot to work through, and it was just based on how people treated me in the past, and this just reconfirmed my belief. This reconfirmed that people feel that way about me. Again, not everyone, but some people. My goal, if ever, is to make things happen naturally with someone. Not, I'm gonna go on this app and then hope to meet someone. No. It has to happen to me naturally, progress naturally. You know, maybe starting a friendship with someone first. And just, you know, like, I always get this, like, with everyone, like, no joke. Everyone I've come across, every guy, I mean, that I come across, it's like they're always, like, grabbing me, like, all touchy, and, you know, like, wanting to jump in right away. I'm like, why do they do that every time, you know? So, I don't know, maybe I just come across a way that is, maybe I'm too sexy, I don't know. I'm joking, but seriously, like, every time, like, I literally just came here, we just text each other that, like, we're gonna stay friends. I'm too afraid to jump into a relationship, and then right away they're like, and I'm like, you know, like, I don't know, it happens every single time. I'm like, oh my god, maybe, I don't know, maybe just people are just too promiscuous nowadays. I don't know, that's, sorry y'all, I have Jesus now, like, no, like, yeah, I'm good. Me, the Bible, and the Lord, right? That's where I'm at right now in this stage of life. Again, it's not that I'm going to be closed off to anyone. Oh, that's another thing. People are wondering me, like, people asking me, like, oh, have you ever tried with girls? Yes, I have when I was younger. Epic fail. I'm never physically attracted to them. It never, like, felt right to me. I more make connection with people. That's my attraction. Is like the reason it could have worked with a girl before is because I was attracted to the connection I had with them as a friend. It's not anything more. Like, that is what influences me or motivates me. It's not like the physical aspect. For men, it's mostly the physical. I've always had a hard time connecting with guys. Like, that part is a total turn off. Like, their personality, their ego, through the roof most times. So that part really disgusts me and turns me off. But that's like me talking to myself, because I know I have those parts too. But in, like, let's say a girl, for example, it would not be that or the physical, right? Like, they don't have those same problems. So it's like the true, genuine connection, the emotional connection, right? Like, that's what I was seeking for, and I just haven't had that in any guy. Like, actually, now that I think about it, oh my god, like, none of the guys had the emotional connection at all. Like, off, zero, zilch. Like, yeah, I was the only one. I was always the one, like, crying about something or opening up and expressing my true heart. None of them ever. Wow, now that I think about it. Yes, thank you, Lord. That downloaded in my spirit. So, obviously women have that part, and that's what draws me in, is the emotional connection and support. And so, people keep thinking, like, oh, what if you're bi or whatever, I don't know. I don't like to label or anything. But, yeah, there definitely, I wouldn't deny the existence that there were moments where I could, like, truly connect. But, is that, again, somewhere I want to be or do right now? Like, be doing, like, starting a relationship with anyone? No. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter. No, I'm, like, so disgusted and turned off, honestly, that I just am not in that right place, and this is why I need time. And I'm glad you guys can hear me with my journey, going through what I'm going through. This is probably the last I'm going to talk about this subject, honestly, because I'm just so over it. Like, I'm even, honestly, like, disgusted with even talking about it anymore, because it's like, okay, I need to, like, seriously move on with my life, because it's been, like, almost a month, right? So, like, eventually, you gotta let it go, right? And, I have pretty much, for the most part, maybe 80%, but there's still parts of you that are like, what if this could have ended differently? What if I didn't reject them? What if I didn't blah, 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 blah? You can't get back to past. And I'm a firm believer that eventually you have to move on. It's hard, though. I know there's people out there who've been with someone for years, and you just can't let them go. You keep coming back. I have a personal best friend who I talk to frequently, like, on and off battle for 8 years with a person, and yeah, I can see how hard it can get, to the point where you have no appetite, you can't eat your food, you just sleep 20 hours a day because you have no motivation, and people are going through it. It's undeniable. But I guess it didn't faze me that hard, because I was already mentally prepared. Like, I already kind of knew I wanted to end things ahead of time. I didn't feel right. I didn't feel truly like myself anymore. I felt numb. I felt like I couldn't say anything, and without being, like, judged or whatever. So, I don't know. And I felt more alone, and I missed me. I craved going back in my own little place and just doing my own thing. And yeah, sometimes it can still feel lonely, but it's more like if I dwell on it too long, like, oh yeah, I have no one here. Like, of course you're gonna feel alone, because you have a lack of people to understand you. And so this is what I'm gonna do now that I'm single. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but also I'm gonna continue working on me, and I never thought I'd have to say that again, honestly, but yeah, it's a lifelong journey, and I'm not first like real relationship right now, long distance, not just dating, like not just a fling, a real relationship. So obviously your first real one 90% of the time is not going to be like a lifelong one, duh. So it gives me faith and hope knowing that, even though it's embarrassing at 27, that was my like actual like legit first one. So I just know I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer to the right one, and if ever, maybe the right one is me all along. Maybe I'm, there's a certain thing where some people believe that your life is already written in stone, right? Maybe it's just not meant in this life. There's a reason it didn't work out for so long, Tony. And you, watching at home, maybe. You ever think of that? Maybe I won't be around next year. Maybe it's my time to go soon. I don't know. You can't know, right? But it's already written in stone, maybe. So, you have to put things in a different perspective. Like, yeah, why am I pushing towards something that's maybe not supposed to happen in this life? Maybe I just came here as soul to realize that and go. Maybe. So, it opens my mind for sure, right? I'm not saying that's truth. I'm not saying that's real. What I'm saying is that you have to really view your life through different perspectives sometimes, because there's a bigger picture. There always is. You're not here by mistake, by accident. You're not here because carbon and nitrogen or whatever decided to combine and create you. Really? Okay. So you're no accident, okay? And last time I checked, all them chemicals can't create soul. Just saying. I don't think they could create your personality either. Just saying. Do you see an amphibian going like this and putting on a Karen wig and her makeup? I don't think so. So there's something about you that's amazing. That is just a beautiful creation of source, and you need to tap into that because, and I'm not just here to tell you what to do. I'm here to also do the same. I need to continue working on that and listening to God's word, because when he says no, he means no. And maybe that's for a reason. Maybe there's something greater you have to be doing in this life. So, now that that's mostly out of the way and I can focus on more important things in life, it's a relief, because I've been focusing on getting a relationship for, oh my God, I don't know how many years now. 6 years. And I wasted a lot of time with the wrong influences. And honestly, it's like, I know what I want, but at the same time, it's like, I don't at the same time. Like, I have, like, a goals, as they say, like, your vision board. You have your certain dreams and stuff, but most of it is just kind of the physical, tangible. What is more meaningful, right? What do I need to accomplish that's more meaningful? And the only thing I can think of off the top of my head right now is working on my peace, my connection to God. And in a sense, realizing what I want next. Where do I go from here? Because it is kind of empty and alone when you're either just focused on yourself too much or not, like, focused on someone else. Because it was always like focus on someone else, and I know, again, that's the external. What you focus on in the external will never, ever give you true peace and happiness. If you're always trying to look for a relationship, they'll never. 6+ years. Teacher here. Never ever give you peace and happiness. It's in the internal. So I guess continuing my meditations, continuing my peace, that's what I'm gonna do. Continuing, working on my beliefs, even though no one believes in me. Yeah, I'm gonna continue working on my beliefs. That counts as my belief system, but also what I believe in this planet. Because you could have friends who don't, and then you're like, it's as if you have no friends at all because you're so lonely because you can't communicate with them how you feel. And that's why I felt so lonely being with certain people more than by myself, because they could never understand or resonate with my viewpoints of the world. And it's honestly better to be alone than to be with someone that makes you feel alone. And so that's where I am now. Ever since I moved to Florida, it's been like pretty tough to deal with people. People is like the biggest theme ever since moving here, and everyone I've met has been just not the greatest experience. And I'm not saying it's where I'm living, but it was also kind of hard because I guess in a sense the culture, the people here are kind of different. So I'm Midwestern, so that's different automatically from the Deep South. So I had a lot to learn, and a lot changed within me during that time, and the growth was incredible, but it was painful. Healing was incredible, but I had to unlearn a lot, and that's what I'm going to continue to do on this spiritual journey, evolving myself spiritually, but still connecting here, because I don't want to feel too far out there that there's no one there for me in this moment in time. That's why I can't make friends, I can't connect. It's because even just the things I've done, it's like it's hard to relate, it's hard to connect, so I want to help people more. I want to be there for those who have been neglected, ignored, unhelped. Maybe this gives me the opportunity at that time finally to go volunteer and do stuff. People need help now more than ever, and still maintaining an open heart, because you never know. Maybe the desire part of me, a little part of me still desires that, still hopes there's some deep connection there I can make. But doesn't fear have quite a huge stronghold over your life that holds you back? It's just incredible how much it holds a person back. The unknown, and just the horrible experiences I've had with people. It just, like, it doesn't even motivate you to try anymore, or put effort. It's kind of funny. It just makes you feel worthless, useless sometimes. Again, I know that's a belief, and I know that's not truth, but you can't deny the existence of human emotions, and I have to remember others are going through this as well. So there's a lot to uncover and unfold and unwrap here, but thank you for listening. That's what I'm gonna do now that I'm single. A lot to reveal about internal workings, and I think maybe this message can connect with some of you. And I'm saying it for a reason. There's a reason. I like to believe there's a purpose, there's a reason for everything. I don't even know why I'm doing this some videos some days, but I know someone out there, at least one person, needed to hear this message today, needed someone to tell them this today, needed someone to make them realize they're not crazy, they're not alone. But taking care of your mental health is important, because being around certain people can really F you up in that department as well. Trust me, I know. The goal is just to get to such a peaceful, loving place that there is no issue. And is that even possible in this hellish of a place of a planet? Can you truly be at peace? Maybe that is what I'm aspiring to do. Maybe that's what I'm contracted here to do all along. And I'm making it harder on myself than it really needs to be. So, who the heck knows? All I know is part of my purpose feels like I'm meant to continue doing these videos. It's been working so long. there's a reason for that, and, I'm not gonna give up. Not giving up on you guys, I'm not a quitter, no matter what. I just keep going and doing, and eventually I know there's a proper outcome that is supposed to materialize out of this creation. And this existence is really just, again, a constant unfolding. So thank you for unfolding with me. That sounded weird, but okay. I love y'all so much. Again, subscribe if you haven't yet, and that website, TonyBomboni.com. Thanks for letting me speak my truth, hearing me out, and hope this was relaxing, maybe for sleep as well. Bye, guys.